Well, good morning and welcome to another Cup of Tea and a Conversation with Karen Brook. I'm Karen Brook and today I'm actually having a chai latte, so something a little bit different. I want to start off today by straight away saying I would like to invite you to join my Winners Circle group on Facebook. If you are not in there, it is a safe, supportive, positive environment where in the current global landscape you will find it a really nice place to be when you open up your app, when you are scrolling through social media, to know that you can scroll through there and everything that I post is going to support you to grow, to innovate, and make a quantum leap no matter what is going on outside of you. So I wanted to get that out straight away to start off today's call, that if you're not in my winner circle, I would welcome you to join me in there. I'll pop the link on this video as soon as we wrap up today, and you can head on over and join me. In light of what is manifesting globally at the moment with COVID-19 and coronavirus, I thought I would take this opportunity to give you some strategies and some insight into how you can maintain a positive mental mindset and continue to grow and accomplish your goals no matter what is going on outside you and in your circumstances, and help you to understand that you create the reality that you want to live in. And so what I've done this morning is I've sat down and I've sort of come up with 7 ideas to share with you, from an individual perspective to a business perspective, and also if you are an employer, what you might start to consider doing with your employees as well. So that's what I wanted to spend some time today talking to you on. So the first thing that I wanted to sort of say to you and remind you of, you may not be aware, but you can control what you think about. And you do have the ability to accept or reject thoughts at a conscious level, depending on what you want to get emotionally involved with. And so that, for some people, maybe even you, is a realization, is a light bulb moment to actually sit there and say, oh, I don't have to consume everything that I'm being presented with. It's not that you don't deny the reality of circumstances, but you just don't make the circumstances or what's going on outside of you, your point of support. So you can stay in control of what you think and how you think and what you focus on. And you don't have to think anything that you don't want to think. You actually have the ability at a conscious level, at an intellectual level in your mind, to accept or reject ideas. You do that through one of the 6 mental faculties that you have, which is called reason, your ability to think creatively. When you look at the way your mind, the basic setup of your mind, I guess, you have 2 parts to your mind. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, or the intellectual mind and the emotional mind. Any idea that you get emotionally involved with, that you give attention to, you start to turn over to your subconscious mind, and that starts to impact how you feel. It starts to impact your behavior and therefore what you create. So even when we're experiencing a health pandemic or a health crisis like this, or anything, absolutely anything, that what I'm teaching you here today, you can apply to absolutely anything. You need to know and understand that you can stay in control from within by controlling the flow of what you think about and what you give energy to. So that was my point number 1 for today. Point number 2 is that the coronavirus or any other circumstance outside of you doesn't impact you accomplishing your goal. The goal does not change. You do not take your eyes off the prize. Now, how you accomplish that goal, that might change. The route, the pathway to physically manifesting it, you might need to innovate. You might need to think a little creatively now. You might have to change the way you do some things, which we'll talk about in a moment as well. But none of what is going on right now globally has to impact you holding and maintaining the image of what you want in terms of your goal, or in terms of your C-type goal, if that language, if you understand what I'm talking about there. So that's what I really want you to understand, that you don't all of a sudden undo all the focus momentum that you have had around what you want because of something going on outside you. And it could be the coronavirus, it could be anything going on outside of you at any stage in your life. Like I say, what I'm sharing with you here, you'll be able to take and apply to any situation that you face. I want you to understand that you create the circumstances that you want, and you create the circumstances that you want by maintaining an image in your intellectual mind that impresses upon the subconscious mind, which allows you to then create the circumstances that you want. There is always an opportunity. There is always an opportunity. And so we're going to talk about having you start to look for the opportunity of what you are experiencing at the moment. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is that you can choose the thoughts and ideas that you expose your mind to. This is something that you do have control over. Now, from a mental faculty point of view, you do have the ability to accept or reject ideas, but you might want to support yourself with that. And here's a couple of little things that you can do. Fact is that as human beings today, living in 2020, we do spend quite a lot of time on social media, and it is I guess, a chosen medium of communicating with you. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't be able to be here today getting this information out to you and getting it out on a mass scale globally. So we want to look for the good in social media and direct our attention towards the ideas and the images that are going to serve us. Hence the reason why I've invited you to be in my winner's circle in Facebook as a dedicated community, a group where you're only going to find information that's going to support you, grow you, and serve you well towards what you want to create now and into the future. Second thing that you can do is start to unfollow on social media news and media organizations that you are constantly seeing and being bombarded with negative images or ideas that you've had enough of seeing. And that goes both now around the coronavirus pandemic, but also just as a status quo. Make sure that you're only connected with and following sites, pages, media organizations that you find relevant and supportive around you accomplishing what you want. I recently, actually, it was well before this had even started to play out globally. I unfollowed a whole bunch of news organizations because I didn't want to see any news popping up on my phone. Even with iPhone, they have a news stories that pops up on the homepage, alerting you to the news of the day. I switched that off in settings on my iPhone as well. So I'm consciously choosing what I'm exposing myself to rather than navigating throughout my day and having stories and news exposed to me without my conscious choosing of it. And that's something that you can do right now to guard your mind around the ideas that you want to present to it. Secondly, you might want to snooze friends. You might have friends on social media who are constantly sharing stories about it, who may be worried about it, who may be spreading fear, who you just, for a little bit of time, you want to take a break from, and you can do that with Facebook as well, and other apps. You can just unfollow people for a period of time, but you might just decide to snooze them. You don't want to unfollow them. You value them as a friend. They're there for a reason. You're friends with them, but you might just snooze them for 30 days, just until everyone calms the farm and finds a new way of operating amongst a shifting global landscape, which is something that you have to learn how to do anyway, because change is inevitable and personal growth is a choice. There is always change going on in the world, and there is always change going on in your environment, but it's how you actually respond to that that defines the person you become and the future that you create. So you might think about just executing a couple of those ideas around unsubscribing from news organizations and unfollowing friends or people on social media who you just don't want to see what they're sharing at the moment. You just want to protect yourself a little bit from that. So that's point number 3. Point number 4 follows off the back of that, just limiting your social media exposure. There's a fair chance, even if you put those strategies into place, you probably will still see a little bit of pop up on social media. So my recommendation would be particularly to limit your social media first thing in the morning and last thing at night. First thing in the morning and last thing at night is actually when you're most relaxed and when your subconscious mind is going to be most open and receptive to whatever idea you give attention to, which is why it's a really powerful time of the day for manifesting and visualizing and working on your goals. So I would encourage you to leave your phone outside of the bedroom, put it somewhere that you can't reach for it first thing in the morning and last thing at night. I would recommend that you start your day with gratitude, sitting down and just quieting your mind for 5 or 10 minutes, even a couple of minutes. You're going to get benefit from this. Taking out a sheet of paper and a pen and thinking about up to 10 things that you feel truly grateful for. I'm so happy and grateful now that. And you might start off with that, feeling true gratitude for your health and the health of your family and friends and the health of your city, the health of your business, the health of your bank account, the health, all the health. You might just start with gratitude there. That is going to tune your mind to a feeling of gratitude. And we know that that feeling of gratitude is at the high end of the emotional guidance scale. And that's where you're going to attract more good to you. So more business opportunities, more money, more career opportunities, more health, more wellness, more happiness. All of that comes when you start to get into that feeling state, which is represented by gratitude or appreciation for what is right and true, looking for the good in everything. So you might start your day with gratitude. At the end of those 10 things, you might not even get 10 things down. You might get 3 or 4 ideas down, but you really do feel grateful for it. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and just ask for guidance throughout the day. An affirmation that I created that I really love is, God of supply, be with me today and give to me all that I have asked for with perfect divine timing. So you might like to use that little affirmation and you just say it and just sit quietly and you ask for guidance throughout the day. And then the last part of this gratitude practice is to then send love to those that bother you. So you might have someone that's been bothering you. You want to release yourself from that energy. So you just call to mind the image of that person. And while you're in that lovely vibration, focused vibration, you just send them love. You might even need to send yourself some love. Maybe you've been bothering yourself. So that's a really simple practice to set up your day and to put you in a better feeling state. And set the tone for the rest of your day in developing that positive mental attitude. The end of the day is equally as important because your subconscious mind is going to be wide open again, nice and relaxed. You might have had a glass of wine, a nice dinner, and you want to really capitalize on the end of the day by focusing on what you do want. So that can be visualizing your goal, thinking from the place of the goal. Maybe you spend some time writing out your goal, writing out what you would love to improve. You might even review the day and look at the day and what were the little wins and the big wins of how you conducted yourself throughout the day. Whatever it is that you do, we just want to make sure that you're not consuming anything that's not in alignment or in support of you creating what you want, the business improvements, the income, whatever it is that you have responsibilities around at the moment, that you're actually really supporting yourself at the beginning and the end of the day to set yourself up for success. The end of the day is really important as well because your subconscious mind does all the heavy lifting around manifesting your environment, manifesting your results. 95% of everything that you see, your subconscious mind has created. So if you can imagine, if you're feeding at the end of the day, your subconscious mind negative stories about things that you don't really want to see happen, or you're feeding your subconscious mind the emotion of fear, doubt, and worry, it's going to manifest more of that in your life and everything that comes with those vibrations, with those emotions, which I can tell you right now are not things that you're going to want to experience. So you've got to be a bit more strategic about this and set yourself up for success at the end of the day as well. That's point number 4. Point number 5 is to look for the good in this circumstance and in any circumstance that you're facing, particularly at the moment as our environments and our communities are changing the way they operate. Look for the good in it and look for the opportunity in it and forget the rest. That's what I want you to be focusing on. There is always opportunity to innovate, and you maybe haven't had to innovate recently in your business or career, but you're being forced to do it now. And one of the things why sometimes we feel resistant about it, or we feel scared or worried or fearful or doubtful about it, is because we haven't developed the ability to actually change, to cope with and thrive in a changing landscape, which really means understanding your mind and understanding how to create a paradigm shift, how to actually think into results, the results that you really want. So what you can start to do as a first step in this is to accept the idea that there's an opportunity in this. and that there's a way for you to create more with less and to create even better results in a changing landscape, and to focus on that side. The law of polarity says that there is good and bad in everything. And what are you choosing to focus on? The lack and limitation, or the negative side of this circumstance, or the positive side, and you're looking for the opportunity in it. So you might start to think about how you can actually provide more service and value in your business or in your career. Ask yourself that question. You're going to start to tap into the law of cause and effect. Ask yourself how you can innovate your business, your product, or your service. Where is there an innovation opportunity? And think from that end. And thinking, again, this is one of your 6 mental faculties. Think creatively, think new ideas, and those ideas may feel very uncomfortable for you at the moment. And this is why, hand on my heart, my coaching is so powerful, giving you the tools and resources to be able to thrive and move peacefully in such a deliberate way in any sort of change or growth process. And at the moment, everybody, most people are being forced to really think about and innovate and look twice at how they're doing and how they're creating. And when we don't understand how to move ourselves confidently through that process, we go to the only known emotions that there are: fear, doubt, worry, and anxiety. But there is a complete flip side to this coin that you can start to study and understand and really bring in and use in your own business and life, so you can thrive and create and actually make a quantum leap. In any given circumstance, there is always an opportunity. And so what I want you to encourage, what I want you to encourage you to do at the moment is to look for that, to ask yourself some of those questions like, how can I actually provide more service and more value at this time right now? How can I innovate my product or service? How can I, if everything is possible, how can I do more with less? If everything is possible and I can have what I want, how can I have what I want right now? And when you start asking yourself those questions, you're tapping into a new vibration, the vibration of what you want, and you're going to receive to you ideas that are in harmony with that. You might want to review the episode before this one on inspired action, and that'll help you link the dots with what I just said there. You'll get ideas and you'll be able to execute on some of those ideas. Point number 6 is, if you are an employer or you're in a leadership role which requires you to lead other people, here are a few things that you might want to sit down with at this time and talk about. Really connect your employees or the people that you serve with your vision, the vision for your business. Really important at this time to really connect them with the departmental goal. If you're working within an organization, like, what are we here to do? What is the purpose of this organization and what is our goal? And get everyone on the same page and really connected to that picture and that image of what you want. And then secondary to that, help them to start to think about what they want and connect with their own professional and or personal goals. That's really important part of your role as a leader, in helping them to maintain an image of what they want, because they're going to manifest the images and ideas that they're focused on. And so you can play a real vital role at this point in time in connecting them not only with a professional goal that's in service of the broader company goal that you've set for the business or your department, but also individually give them something to focus on, or help them discover something to focus on that they can feel good about, that when they get out of bed, there's a focus point, there's an image, there's a place that they're moving to, and know that as you do that, they're going to be connecting with better energy, in the most simplest term. And when we're growing, when we are in a growth mindset as a product of our goals, our C-type goal, we're flooding our mind with new energy, and it creates us, it really allows us to live in a vital and well body. So that sense of well-being, that health paradigm naturally improves when we're focused on C-type goals of things that we really want, that we feel good about when we hold on the screen of our mind every day, and it allows us to maintain a high vibration. And so our results actually transform better and better and better. You can grow the sales of your business. Your individual employees can continue to get great results as you really connect them with thinking and operating like this. If you are going through a situation at the moment where you have to change the working relationship with your employees, perhaps people are starting to work from home, understand that that's going to be a paradigm shift for them. They're used to their actual entire self-image might revolve around getting out of bed and following a certain routine, and that routine is being taken away from them, which can be quite scary, and make them feel quite vulnerable in that situation. So as a leader, as an employer, it's important that you also understand what's going on, that the paradigm shift is being forced upon them. And people don't dislike change, they dislike being changed when it's not their choice. So that's just something to keep in the back of your consciousness, that you will need to resource and help your employees make a paradigm shift, which means that you need to know how to make a paradigm shift, and resource yourself in understanding that process, so that you can help everybody else around you. There has never been a greater need or time in the world for leaders and people who understand this process. They are going to be the ones that really win in a big way, because not only will you be able to transform yourself and make a quantum leap in whatever business or industry or career you're in, you'll be in a position to really enable and empower every single person that you come into to be able to do it as well. And that's where you write your own ticket. You become irreplaceable. So there's never been a greater need or a time for individuals to really understand how to make a paradigm shift and to how to support those people around them to go through change positively and constructively, constantly moving and manifesting business and corporate goals, but also individual and personal goals along the way. And the leader who can help their company and their employees do that is an extremely valued member of the team. So if you would like help or guidance on that, I can help you with that. Feel free to reach out and connect with me, and we can talk a little bit more about what that's going to look like for you. But that wraps up today's cup of tea and a conversation. So I trust that you will have received value out of one or all of these 7 points today. And like I mentioned at the beginning of today's call, please join me in my Winner Circle group on Facebook. If you're looking for that community, that environment that is continually growing and getting better and better results no matter what is going on outside. I'm there to help you. I'm there to support you. If you have any questions about anything that I've covered today, feel free to comment on this video or write to me, support@karenbrook.com.au, and we can take it from there. Take care and have a great day.